gonna turn on the actual first switch, first on the rear, prime those fuel pumps, prime it twice, might as well. See if she'll go. This is what happiness is. It'll just be like on the two-step and all that. It'll be so sick for drifting.
That's my way.
Hey, what's happening, guys? Today I'm going to start the rear engine. There's a few things I've got to do, but she's gonna run. I can't wait to hear it. Since I do not have a battery in the trunk, I have a battery in the passenger side right there. So what I've got to do, and what I've always done, is I just run a nut and bolt to a power wire and run it to my battery. I don't know what happened to my last one, so I'm making a new one right now. I've just got some wire here, and I'm crimping on some connectors that I can bolt into the factory harness. I'm almost ready to fire it up. All I've got to do, all I think I need to do. All right, I'm almost ready to fire it up. So all I think I need to do is put the wires to the actual spark plugs, and then I should be good. But beforehand, I'm going to take the plugs out, crank it over, get the oil everywhere, get the oil in the top of the engine, onto the cylinders, that type of thing. I always do that. So I'm gonna get to it. I've got to take all the plugs out. It's always good practice to crank the engine over without plugs in it for the first startup, especially if it's been in a while, because you don't want dry rods and dry cylinders and having a piston going up and down with pressure, because it's compressing everything, and then you've got the big bang when you've actually got it trying to fire. So that's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna crank it over. I'm gonna do that right now. I just gotta connect the power. Power's hooked up. That's good. So I am going to turn the ignition on for the rear, which is the bottom panel. What? Why is nothing working? Okay, I just had a heart attack. It was a ground. So, that's good. I literally had a heart attack there because I thought from in the last episode, I fried the wiring when I was welding. That's what I kind of thought happened. I didn't have the battery connected, so that's obviously a good thing, but it still gave me a heart attack. It was just a ground, good to go. Now I'm gonna crank it over. So, back engine. I'm just gonna make sure there's oil in it. I remember putting oil in it, but I'm just gonna make sure, because that would have been really dumb. Yeah, there's lots of oil in there. Right under full, right how I like it. Okay, now I'm gonna check and see if there's oil leaks, because I always screw something up, so. Okay, it's looking like there's an oil leak there, but I think that's tranny fluid from when I was filling the tranny. So, this time when I'm gonna start it, I'm gonna make sure nothing's in the way. But I think I am good to go to put plugs back in. I'm just gonna crank it over a bit more. Plugs are going in, and then she will be ready to go. Wires are on, plugs are in. Right now I have really ugly looking plugs in, like I didn't put brand new ones in, which I should have, but I didn't have stock of brand new ones, which sucks because I like starting them with new ones, because then you know it's not the spark plugs. The last time I started up the front engine for the first time, which was recently, I went to fire it up and it would barely like even cough because the plugs were so bad. And I was fighting it. It was wasting my time because I was fighting other issues before the plugs, and I replaced the plugs with brand new ones. I had 6 laying around that were brand new, and boom, she went, idled and everything. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna test for spark, and if I've got spark, I'm gonna prime the fuel pump, and then I'm going to fire it up. Unfortunately, I do not have my pipes on because I have to make them yet. I need a T3 flange for the hot side here, and I'm going to wrap it up. I have cut my last one up pretty bad because I needed a flange for the red car. So I've got a new one coming in the mail. I couldn't believe how expensive they were, but whatever, gotta do it, right? I got a stainless one obviously so I can make my stainless steel pipe cuts. All right, cool. Let's get to it. Another nice feature of this firewall having an opening is I can test spark back here, no problem, and I can see it while doing it by myself. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna plug a spark plug into my actual coil, and then I'm going to ground it out somewhere, like right here, find a spot where it's gonna sit, and then I'm gonna crank it over and see what happens. Because I always do this because I don't want to prime the fuel pump, and when I'm priming my fuel pump, it's actually squirting some fuel into the cylinders. Like I have that in my tune, that it just squirts a little bit in as it's priming. So then when I'm ready to crank it, there's already some fuel in there, ready to go, and I don't want to flood it. So make sure there's spark there, and then if there is, it should fire right up. We'll see if the plugs can do that. See that spark plug flaring right up? That's a good thing. I'm gonna take it out now, that's good. An issue with these cars, I've always had problems with getting spark when you change things over and move grounds and everything. So basically, if you pull out your engine or transmission, you're usually gonna have problems with a no start issue because no spark, because the grounds are very finicky. But I've created new wiring harness for both, making better grounds, and having a more simple setup makes things better. And I haven't had a problem since I've done that. I did that about a year and a half ago. I did both of them before I did the twin engine, and I haven't had an issue since, but I always make sure because it just bothers me if it doesn't just start right away. Sick. I'm gonna start this thing up in a minute. The only thing that I'm a little bit worried about as well is that I have the E85 tune in it. So when I'm starting it, it's going to be throwing in a bunch of fuel, because right now I have just 87 in there, which is 87 octane from the pump, like regular when you hit the button. So it's going to be running very rich once it starts, because E85 takes like 30% more fuel, I forget the exact number, than pump to make the same amount of combustion. So I'm gonna just give her a shot, and I just want to hear it fire. All right. I'm gonna turn on the actual first switch, first on the rear, prime those fuel pumps, prime it twice, might as well. See if she'll go. There she goes. Okay, as you can see, it smoked really bad, and that is because it's running rich, because it's not E85. But yeah! Yes, it runs. I'm stoked. So now it's just moving forward. The wiring harness is obviously good. Everything's good to go. It ran good, and it's running rich. So I'm a happy man right now. Tomorrow I'm going to bring in my computer, take some fuel out, because as you can see, it's very rich, but it's running. Injectors all worked, obviously. It wasn't missing or anything, just fired right up. Let's do it one more time. Let's just for fun. All right, second attempt for fun. It's gonna smoke, but who cares? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Very, very good. I'm a happy boy. Look at all that smoke. But I knew that was gonna happen. It won't hurt anything, just that idle. Damn. Both engines are gonna run. If I went right now and turned on the front and turned on the back, or turned on the back and turned on the front, both would be running, purring at this very moment. But I don't want to right now because I need to tune this one before I get too carried away. But I've got lots of other little things to do. I need to do catch can, and I need to tidy my wiring. There's a bunch of stuff behind the dash I need to do, but we're making progress, and I'm going to be driving it soon. Both engines run. Woo! I'm on top of the world! Both engines are healthy. Front one's fresh right up. The back one, I did the valve seals. Hopefully that's all good. Damn, this is gonna be a good start to a season. New cage, power steering. It's gonna be basically a Cadillac on the drag strip, running 10s all day long, baby. This is what happiness is when your race car runs. That is happiness. I am so at peace. This is good, this is great. So, I don't even know what to say. I'm just so stoked. I'm glad to hear that engine running again. This engine is fully built and it's ready to rock. It's in the back, which is more beneficial. It has a higher red line. I can rev it to like 80, or I can at least rev it to 8 grand, which is insane for a V6. And it'll just be like on the 2-step and all that. It'll be so sick for drifting. I'm stoked. I am so stoked. This thing is gonna be so sick. This is usually fairly frightening.
I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.